What's happening, guys? It is a beautiful day today, and today we're going to look at our roof replacement process. A roof replacement can be a really overwhelming project, but here at TSM, we got it down to a science. From protecting your property to laying every single shingle, every step matters. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at our process for that, what it looks like from the beginning to end. Stay tuned. Protecting your property. That is one of the big questions we get when we're doing a roof replacement. One of your big concerns is what's my property gonna look like? Tear off can be dirty, it can be messy, shingles falling off the roof, damaging plants, pots, whatever it is. So what we do is we use a catch-all system. Tim and I are gonna set this thing up behind us here and show you what that looks like. It's a great tool. It deflects and keeps all the debris and shingles, dirt, metals, whatever's coming off that roof, it keeps it off the house and off of your plants, your pots, whatever. So it's a great tool. We use it on almost all of our roof replacements, and it's really saved a lot of pots and plants, huh, Tim? So we'll put all of our poles on there. Once we got them all on there, we'll stand it up, put it up against the fascia in the house. These poles extend to different lengths, and you have different eave heights. So this is something that oftentimes goes overlooked when you're having your roof replaced. Here in Arizona, you know, we'll see rooftop mounted AC units, or you'll have a ground unit like this. Well, when they're right next to the eave, it can definitely be an issue with debris getting in there. You know, if you're doing a tile house, tile dropping on there. So having your unit protected is extremely important, especially during the summertime. You know, you want to make sure you're not having a contractor like cover it with a tarp. I've seen guys suffocate AC units doing that type of stuff. So this catch-all does an excellent job with the AC units, protects it. It can keep functioning, keeps debris out of it. Super beneficial in that way. So we'll finish setting this up, but we have another tarp that runs out here flat on the ground, so all the debris comes off the roof, slides down, and then it'll fall on their ground tarp here. Easy to roll it up, take it to the dump trailer, throw it away. Perfect for nails, that sort of stuff. Back in the day, we used to use just your standard blue tarp or some kind of tarp like that, and they get tore up. You know, they're hard to set up, misses nails, stuff like that. These things do a great job at capturing all the small debris, the nails, the fine things. We love it. So our goal of every single roof replacement we do is to make it as smooth as possible. And really that starts at the very beginning, our first trip to the property, the inspection, our initial inspection. Our inspectors, we have various tools, checklist in place, photo files. It's all on their phone, so they're gonna walk through the property, Tim. They're taking photos of your soffits, your front, your driveway access. They'll get up on the roof and do their inspection too, but we want to make sure everything is covered on the ground, that we're not going to damage anything, and everything's accounted for. Also looking at fascia, we see a lot of replacements we do, fascia woodwork has to happen, so we need good documentation of that. And that documentation gets transferred over to Tim, who's our construction manager. He's out there with the crews daily, making sure that scopes are being completed. And this is a critical part of the process too. Tim is able to go through all that stuff with our installers, our crews every single day. And you guys, beginning of shift, go through it. If there's any issues that need to be addressed, talk about it. What's the game plan? How are we going to attack this? So. Yep. I mean, for you, I know the inspection process is a critical part, right?
Yep.
Right. And so our inspectors have been trained. You see them when they come out to your property, they're going to do a detailed inspection, and we'll walk around here. We're going to get up on the roof and look at the actual construction part of it, but it does start down here. It's not something a lot of people think about, but when you're running over nails in the driveway, it starts to become an issue for people. So. Yep. Cleanliness is a goal of ours, you know, just making it as smooth as possible. And some of these jobs get pretty messy too, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice to have the inspection beforehand so we know what we need to protect when we show up that morning.
And this, nowadays we have a lot of great tools to do great inspections. It's not quite the way it used to be with pen and paper. We have our documentation is very thorough of your property, and you know, that's not just for your roof replacement, for the future too. You have warranty items that come up. We're able to go back into those job profiles, look at the previous history on it, and whatever notes were taken during that time, and it gives us a really good idea when we're going back to a property if it's a couple years later. So all of our projects, we use a dump trailer on everything pretty much, right, Tim?
Yeah.
So when we show up to the property, Tim and his crew is going to show up there. Typically, it's going to be, I like to just say at daylight, because
as soon as the sun's up.
Yeah, summertime.
Crew's knocking on the door.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, summertime's here. Obviously, they're getting hot, so we want to get going as early as possible. The one thing that we do with our disposal, our dumpsters, our dump trailers are coming with us and leaving with us every day. So, you know, you have things in the garage you need to get in and out. Pull them out on the street prior to us showing up. We'll bring our dump trailer in, and then at the end of the day when we're done working, we'll take it out and you'll have your driveway if we have to be there for multiple days. Okay, so we've talked about some of the ground concerns going into your roof replacement. Now we're up on the roof. We've got all the old roofing tore off, thrown in our dump trailers, headed to the dump. Now we're gonna look at some of the install stuff. Now this particular roof, it does have a large patio on it, so we did do a base and cap on this. They're still doing a little bit of install here, but that's okay. We're gonna continue up the roof. We've got our patio installed, and this is a mod bit, fully adhered, similar to like our PSU 30 we talked about the other day. Similar, but it's a granulated. This is intended to be exposed to the sun, where some of the other synthetics or traditional felts are not. So we're headed up the roof. We got our synthetic underlayment installed, like on the field of the roof, and Tim here is going to kind of show us what it looks like with our shingles and like all those layers we talked about in our platinum roofing system. He's got his drip edge down. Now we're going to install our starters, Tim. So we're running our starters along all of our eaves and on all of our rakes. So that starter shingle has this extra adhesive strip on it. Really helps those perimeters or the eaves with wind resistance. This is required by the manufacturer, so it's a pretty standard thing for us, huh, Tim?
Yep. Boost the wind warranty on it.
Yep. And so once they got their starters installed, we are going to start putting our filled shingles in. So here, as you can see, we got another Owens Corning roof. This is an Owens Corning Oak Ridge. What is that? Golden Meadow. So Golden Meadow, great color. Kind of between like a desert tan and an amber, I suppose. And then as Tim goes up, you can kind of demonstrate what that looks like. Obviously, he's not measuring with a tape right now, but this gives you the idea of what it looks like when we're starting out shingling your roof. Now it's gonna have like a step pattern to that. We're offsetting the ends of the shingles so we don't have two joints like over the top of each other. And he's gonna work that up the slope until he runs out of room there and then continue on the rest of it. So really getting your slope started or your step started is one of the few things that can take a little bit of time, but once they got this whole corner done, they're off to the races on the rest of the slope. So, okay, so we've got our filled shingles installed. We're moving up the slope. We're now to our ridge. In most cases, we're installing a ridge vent, and you know, you may have turbines or dormer vents on your roof. In most cases, we're removing the turbines, the dormers, and going to more of a ridge vent style vent. You know, makes it for a little bit cleaner look, a little bit better ventilation system, less issues or maintenance things that you could have come up down the road. So it's almost standard for us, huh, Tim? Like with ridge vent on.
Yeah, unless the homeowner specifies it for a different type, but yeah.
So ridge vent, we use a Lamanco product for that. Lamanco's been around for many years. This is a great product and ridge vent. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna cut open the top of that ridge about 2 inches for that attic to breathe. We're gonna take our roll. They're gonna run it out the length of the roll, which is approximately 30 feet. And it has all these nail locations on here that they're gonna fasten it through. It requires an 1 3/4 inch nail, a little bit longer nail than we're using like in our field shingles, but they're gonna nail that thing off, and then we'll come back, put our ridge caps on here. They'll put the ridge on there, and still requires that 1 3/4 inch coil nail for your cap shingles, but much better system than turbines. Turbines typically out here, we get high winds and stuff during monsoons. You'll see turbines laying in the road all over the place. So we really like it. Most homeowners like it. It improves that ventilation system, and you know, there's most of the components that go to your roof. There's some pipe flashings, maybe some other detail stuff, but the main pieces and the main components of your roof, you know, your ridge, your field shingles, your underlayments, starters, those type of things. We've kind of talked about all that. You know what to expect. If you have other details on your roof you're unsure about, be sure to ask your rep. When Tim comes out on site on construction day, you're welcome to ask him. He's very knowledgeable, has installed thousands of roofs, probably.
Thousands, yep.
Been in it for what, 30 years?
Not that old. I am the old man. Not that old.